competition. Others' inefficiencies aren't your problem, it's your opportunity to have their lunch. On New Year's Day 1974, as Mayor Beam delivered a speech that lacked the virtue necessary to inspirationally unify and glue together a city's population in crisis, a critical moment for the future of New York City. The financial challenges and political scandals that tormented the city's functions were not frictions for all. They were opportunities for the alert and present, who possessed the practical understanding and health to act clearly. Among this backdrop of uncertainty and thus concern, Fred Trump, a businessperson with relatively strong or competitively advantageous momentum, recognized the ability for his son, Donald Trump, to rise to prominence and heroism in a city desperate for revitalization from seeming personal sacrifice of a savior. In a time when many hesitated and so fumbled, Donald embraced the turbulent environment as fertile soil to create more of his in-process vision and presence in this direct environment he was in. Donald understood that the current economic grief was looking for a tissue, and so he could tap the well of this current climate, i.e., and platform, for his further integration into the society, growth of his material possessions, and in due course, multiply opportunities for himself to leverage into sustaining his figuratively mounting lifestyle and societal presence. As the city grappled with a recession and so rising crime, it became evident that boldness, that's venturing out, and a willingness to be uncomfortable were now a combined priority. While others were paralyzed or made coward by paranoia, Donald Trump exhibited a competence to still navigate the mineshaft of New York City's real estate market. Ned Eichler, tasked with the challenging mission of selling the mismanaged real estate portfolio of Penn Central, initially viewed Trump's inexperience with fear. However, it was this very fear that would soon give way to respect. Donald Trump, with his charisma or his type of energy and relative consistency, exemplified that meaningful connections personally vetted or filtered in advance and a common and so persuasive vision could indeed strengthen one's position through others' perceptions and realities. Eichler and his colleague Koskinen, equipped with their more general expertise, thus contributing a toolbox with more tools or utility for Donald to draw from, recognized the underappreciated potential of the West Side yards. Here, Trump saw an opportunity to turn a chaotic legacy into a finally useful asset, challenging the instantly outdated assumptions that had held back progress for way too long. In a city where reputation and so relationships matter, Donald Trump's familial connections provided him with a sharp competitor's advantage to render most competitors eventually irrelevant towards key gatekeepers in general. His father's influence and his own unceasing fire enabled him to navigate out of the bureaucratic procedural bind of New York real estate, a testament to the meaningfulness of strategic alliances in overcoming institutional inertia and lethargy. While some may wrongly have viewed Trump's seemingly youthful joyousness as a liability, it ultimately became an asset and competitive edge. His audacious claims about acquiring the West Side yards, though bold, reflected a strategic mindset that prioritized vision over mere experience. Donald Trump's self-promotion, often shallowly criticized and hated on, can be understood as an urgent tool in the competitive and ruthless domain of real estate. Rather than being deterred by the media's meaningless bird-chirping scrutiny, he utilized this to craft or trade into presenting a persona of influence and ambition to the world. His proclamations about grand developments were not merely empty rhetoric, though. They were a reflection of the openings he spotted for a city in need of dedicated participants. In March 1975, Donald secured an option for the West Side Yards without an initial cash outlay, a feat that caught the sudden attention of powerful stakeholders, forming their opinions for them as him possessing the needed ability to leverage opportunities effectively. While the flurry of cheap critics may squeal to the controversies he was in actualizing his ambitions in a general and flexible manner with the tool of PR always nearby, it is essential to recognize that his journey was characterized by merely forceful resilience and honest subscription and application to the detailed understanding of market dynamics. In a seemingly highly competitive bidding landscape for some, Donald Trump and Eichler together patiently and consciously walked themselves through the details of negotiation, showcasing sometimes perceived limitations as strengths. Their collaborative efforts exemplified the transformative power of competent alliances, persuasion and consistent critical thought applied towards a landscape rife with seemingly endless doubts. Donald Trump's ascent during this friction-filled period was not about ambition or inner fire alone. It was about recognizing and combining opportunities and outlets where others generally didn't have the courage to embark on this. His direction serves as a compelling reminder that in times of formal crisis, it is those willing to focus through turbulence and promote their vision or interests of possibility, who then have the opportunity to shape the future of an environment and generally attain some glory or status along with, which in the future, usually can be advantageously refashioned, combining other elements, to gain even more competence over the world. In the face of seeming confusion, Donald Trump rose not just as another developer, nevertheless as an authority in his own right, who understood the utility in being or the need to be influential, engaging with challenges and coming out better off.
Make me hot.
By liking and subscribing.